Hi, good evening, and shalom to President Asher Cohen, Rector Tamir Sheffer, and all of you in the Executive Committee. It is an honorable platform, and I must admit I am still very moved by the right of being here. So I would like to apologize in advance if my words get mixed up. First, I would like to thank you for the invitation. Again, it is a great honor. My name is Shona Goldwirth. I was born in Los Angeles, California, and made an Aliyah 19 years ago with my family. I currently live in Jerusalem. I am a third-year medical student in Faculty of Medicine at the Hebrew University Hadassah Medical Center. When Natalie invited me to tell you about our initiative, I was a bit surprised. I did not understand what was so special about it. For me, honestly, it was obvious. A tragic event has occurred and our country needed help, so we helped. I debated with myself about where to start and what I wanted to tell. At the end, I decided to start by just telling you the chain of events, hoping my message will crystallize as I tell the story. I would like to start at 6:30 a.m., Saturday, October 7th. I woke up to sirens. I was staying at my mother's for Simchat Torah. She lives in a suburb of Tel Aviv, so I was sure it was a false alarm. Since it is better to be safe than sorry, I woke her up and we entered the safe room. In the safe room, we turned on the news. We were horrified. More than 1,500 terrorists had entered Israel. Communities in the South were in great distress, and civilians were calling news anchors begging for help on live TV. I sent my brother, a combat intelligence officer in the paratroopers brigade, a message to make sure he was okay, but no answer from him. Then, an hour and a half later, 8 in the morning, my brother finally answers me. The message from him said the word war, period, nothing else. It took me a minute to comprehend the meaning of this message, and then after a few more minutes, he wrote, Shona, I'm telling you, I'm on my way to Gaza. There is war. Once again, complete shock. No one trains you on how to react in these situations. Time passes, the tension is rising, and we start to understand that the situation is much more tragic than we thought. Our worries are growing, and we start making phone calls to loved ones from the different places that are at risk, finding out that some of them have already lost family and friends. 10:30 a.m. The feeling of impotence and shock is turning into a drive to do something and try to find a way to help. I asked in a group of socially active doctors and medicine students if we can help in any way. One of the doctors, a psychiatrist, told me, you should help with the emotional support emergency lines. They can't handle the massive load. Immediately, I sent messages to a few friends, and we decided to form a group and to start help. Meanwhile, I found out my brother was in a battle with terrorists, and I was trying to figure out if he was okay. When I got a sign of life from him, I could breathe again, and we started making phone calls. About an hour later, we opened a WhatsApp group, Health Profession Students Helping. Not too catchy in English, but in Hebrew it sounds better. It started out small and intimate, but as we sent invitations to join us, the news spread quickly, and by 5:30 p.m., we were more than 10,000 students. Today, our volunteering student community consists of more than 4,500 students in the health professions, mostly medical students throughout the country. Since then, our array of volunteers has grown and developed. We formed regional teams who led local activities. and we contacted hospitals, mental health centers, and HMOs throughout the country, offering our help. Also, Israel's Health Administration contacted us and used our lists to support more facilities and health centers. In the meantime, another collaboration was with Dr. Tzvi Fischel, chairman of the National Council of Mental Health, the first doctor who believed in us. Together, we built a model for students volunteering in centers for evacuees in hotels throughout the country. The evacuees are obviously from different kibbutzim near Gaza. Hospitals managers contact me and ask for a certain number of volunteers, and then we built a group of volunteers and made contact with the hospitals. The students help with emotional aid to the evacuees, as well with logistics and administrative help. I am excited to tell you that today our students are helping in a great deal of hospitals in Israel because many of their routine staff were recruited to reserve duty. Our students helped in the clinical field in ongoing operation, and they even offer babysitting services to doctors and their families. Our Jerusalem-based volunteering model is the best in the country. Thanks to our two female contacts in the main hospitals in Jerusalem, Dr. Shiri Tenenbaum and Dr. Shir Shabbat, there is a great system of trust and joint work. Dr. Tenenbaum, the Vice President of Hadassah Medical Center, was our partner in building a network of more than 200 students volunteering in different departments. We also got incredible support from our Dean of Faculty of Medicine, Professor Eli Pikarski. Thanks to the joint work of both of them with us, together with the teaching staff, we built a model in which students can go help departments in need without it disturbing their clinical education and experience. That began on November 5th. The students became almost a part of the regular staff in different departments such as cardiology, internal medicine, gynecology, hematology, oncology, orthopedics, and more. They continuously collected praises from doctors and professors for their functioning in those departments. I believe that this collaboration between our faculty and the university, and of course Hadassah Medical Center, shows how deeply profound this relationship is. It is a relationship of trust and having each other backs. I think it is very special that we were able to set a new norm, a one that states that the students make a sort of reserve unit here to help the hospitals when in need. It is not to be taken for granted at all that the hospital management and staff had this kind of faith in us. I really hope that this model will be incorporated in other medical faculties and different universities in Israel. As you can see, I am now wearing my IDF uniform. About 2 weeks ago, in the midst of our activity, I was recruited myself to reserve service in the National Institute of Forensic Medicine as a part of the unit in charge in locating and identifying our missing civilians. During my service, I am exposed to extremely graphic photos and heartbreaking stories that show us the consequences and the effects of extreme evil of Hamas. During my service and my writing, I understood what I wanted my message to be. The way to fight evil is by doing good. There is no other way to fight it, since it is an inseparable part of humankind. During the last 5 weeks, I have seen this everywhere, fighting evil with good. The Israeli people act in every field one can think of. We take care of one another, we volunteer, we pay attention to each other's difficulties and struggles. The people took action when the government did not. Instead of being the victims, our civilians have shown strength, mutual responsibility, and love. During one of the most tragic events of Israel's history, our country was filled with good. I hope I am not abusing this time kindly given to me to make a small request of you to do good. Advocate, spread the stories of the 7th of October. Tell the stories of the murdered, abused, injured, and the abducted who are still being held captive. I know that the international community doesn't get the full picture. I have family abroad and friends. I know what they hear on the news. Help the people hear the stories. And now, just before really finishing, I promise, I would like to end with a quote by Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and a Holocaust survivor, who had the talent of choosing the most accurate words and taught me what emotional strength looks like. And he said, "We who lived in concentration camps can remember the men who walked through the huts comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. They may have been few in number, but they offer sufficient proof that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." And I must admit, it's a bit um, when I'm reading this right now, I see that he says that they are few in number, but I really saw that most of the country did good. I would like to thank all of the students who chose to confront evil by taking part in our volunteering community and doing good under this horrific set of circumstances. Without them, no WhatsApp group, no initial notion would have happened. I now know the power of a group of people who want to help those in need. This power is unstoppable. And I would like to say a special thank you to Shai Ofek and Noah Bersano. They can't hear me right now, but they know I love them very much. Two students who started this initiative with me and are still our backbone. Without them, none of this would have happened. To better days and to our warriors at the front, including my brother, may they come home safely. Thank you very much.